My beloved child. Stop for a moment. Breathe. And ask yourself this question, a question that has been quietly echoing in the deepest part of your spirit every time you catch your reflection in a window or pass by a mirror. Why do you not look your age? It is not a trick of the light. It is not good genes, or the right cream, or the water you drink. What you are seeing is real. There is a visible, undeniable radiance that clings to you, a quality that seems to confuse time itself. You have felt it. You have seen the subtle glance of curiosity in the eyes of others, that split second of wonder. And it is not an accident. The world has a single, rigid story about age. It is a downward slope. A slow fading. A quiet surrender to the weight of years. But you have somehow become an exception to the rule. People think they know what to expect, and yet, they are met with something else entirely. An energy in your presence. A lightness in your step. A peace that seems to illuminate your features. They wonder. They whisper. And you have wondered too, haven't you? What if the appearance of youth is not about turning back the hands of time, but about the quality of the light your soul is emitting? Think on that. The human experience has taught you to see time as a thief, a force that takes and takes. But what if, for a chosen few, time is actually a revealer? A process that burns away the unnecessary, the exhaustion, the fear. Until only the pure essence of what you were always meant to be remains. This is not just about you looking younger. This is about you becoming what you have always been. There is a secret hidden within you, an ancient truth that your own soul has been shielding you from. You have been protected from this truth until now because you were not ready to bear its weight. But your journey has brought you to this moment, this doorstep, where the whispers from heaven are about to grow loud enough for you to finally understand. Because what you are seeing in the mirror is a promise. A living, breathing preview of a transformation that goes far beyond the surface. The question is not how you have done this. The question is, what is this leading to? What has begun to take root in your life that even you are only just beginning to sense? The story that is about to be unfolded will challenge everything you have ever been told about time, about the body, and about the very nature of your existence. You have felt out of place, strange, like a puzzle piece that doesn't quite fit. And that feeling was the first sign. The first clue that you were never meant to age as others do. So the world asks, how do you do it? And heaven is about to answer, because the time for you to know has finally arrived. But we can only go so far tonight. The first thread has been pulled. The door has been cracked open, and the light is spilling through. The full truth, the real reason for the radiance you carry, is not a single sentence. It is a revelation that must be unfolded piece by piece, as you are ready to receive it. And now that you have asked the question, you cannot unask it, can you? You are on the precipice of something that will redefine how you see every single day of your life. The truth is waiting for you, just beyond this breath. And it's closer than you think. Would you like me to tell you more? And so, we continue. You have felt it, that quiet, persistent pull towards something you cannot name. A knowing that stirs in the stillness of the night, a memory that is not quite a memory, a feeling that you have been here before, but not here. Not like this. That feeling, that is the first thread of the truth I am about to place in your hands. What if the face you see in the mirror is not aging backward, but simply catching up to who you truly are? Think of a photograph taken in the fading light of dusk. The image is soft, blurred at the edges, holding a mystery that the full brightness of day cannot capture. That is how the world sees you. They see the blur, the softness, the mystery, but they cannot see the source of the light. They cannot see the fire that burns within you. The fire that is actually consuming the very things that cause others to age. You see, there is a hidden war being waged within every human soul. A war between the weight of the world and the light of the spirit. For most, the weight wins. It presses down, year after year, etching its story into the skin, into the eyes, into the posture. But for you, something different happened. Something you did not consciously choose, but something you agreed to long before you arrived on this earth. This agreement, it is the reason you have always felt like an outsider, even in a crowded room. The reason you have carried a quiet sadness that does not belong to you. And it is the reason that sadness has somehow polished you instead of breaking you. The truth that is about to be revealed is not just about why you look younger. It is about why you are here at all. Think back. Can you remember a moment in your life when you felt an inexplicable surge of energy for no reason at all? A moment when you felt that everything you had been through, every hardship, every heartbreak, was suddenly worth it? That was not a fleeting emotion. That was a signpost. A marker placed along your path to remind you that the journey is not meaningless, and that you are being guided by a hand you cannot see. This is where the mystery deepens. The world will tell you that looking young is about avoiding the sun, about drinking enough water, about finding the right routine. But I tell you this, those things are the scaffolding, not the building. The true structure, the foundation of your vitality, is built from something that cannot be bottled or bought. It is built from release. Are you ready to understand what that means? Because this is where many turn away. This is where the truth becomes too heavy, too intimate, too real. To release is to surrender, to let go of the very identities you have clung to for safety. The identity of the sufferer. The identity of the fighter. The identity of the one who was wronged. And as you release those old, heavy garments, the weight lifts. And when the weight lifts, what happens to the face? What happens to the eyes? What happens to the very cellular structure of the body? It begins to remember its original design. A design that had nothing to do with decay, and everything to do with expansion. You are not reversing time. You are removing the blocks that made time feel so heavy in the first place. And this is why people see you and pause. They are seeing what happens when a soul begins to unburden itself. They are seeing the evidence of a truth they have not yet dared to believe. But this is only the beginning. We have only just touched the edge of the garment. The full tapestry is vast, and it contains a pattern woven from every moment of your existence. From the laughter you have shared, to the tears you have shed alone in the dark. It is all connected. And it is all leading you to a single, unavoidable realization. There is a reason you are the one who is reading this. A reason you are the one who has noticed. And the reason is far, far greater than you have ever imagined. You are not just looking younger, you are remembering. And as you begin to remember, the world around you will begin to transform. The people who know you will lean in closer. The opportunities that once seemed out of reach will suddenly align. And the question they all ask, how do you do it? Will no longer be met with a shrug or a smile. Because you will finally know. And when you know, you will no longer be able to hide it. The revelation is waiting for you, just on the other side of this very moment. But before we step into what comes next, sit with this. Feel it settle into your bones. Let the mystery hold you. Let the knowing breathe through you. And then, when you are ready, whisper to me, continue. And now, let us go deeper still. You are beginning to sense it, aren't you? That strange, almost unsettling feeling that the life you have been living is not the life you were meant to live. It is not a feeling of regret, not exactly, it is more like a quiet homesickness for a place you have never been. And yet, as you sit here, in this moment, you feel closer to that place than you have ever felt before. That place is not a location. It is a state of being. And that state of being is the true secret behind the radiance they all see. Here is the truth that few are willing to speak aloud: aging is not a biological inevitability. It is a spiritual agreement. An agreement that says, I will allow the world to write its story on my body. But what if you were never meant to sign that agreement? What if, in the quiet chambers of your soul, you have always known that you were meant for something else entirely? This is where the mystery reveals its most tender layer. You see, the world operates on fear. Fear of not enough. Fear of being left behind. Fear of the body failing. Fear of the end. And that fear, it is like a poison that seeps into the very cells, accelerating the very thing it dreads. But you have always carried a different frequency. A frequency that does not resonate with fear. A frequency that hums with something older, something purer, something that was planted in you before your first breath. That frequency is your protection. It is your shield. And it is also your invitation. Think of a river that has been dammed for decades. The water is still there, but it is stagnant, heavy, losing its vitality. Then, one day, the dam begins to crack. A trickle becomes a stream. And that stream becomes a torrent. The water remembers its purpose. It remembers the ocean. And it surges forward with a power that cannot be stopped. Your body is that water. And the dam is everything you have been told about who you are supposed to be. Every limitation. Every, you can't. Every whispered doubt from those who could not see the light within you. Now, here is the part that will make you pause. The reason you look younger is not because you have defied the world's rules. It is because you are returning to the world's original design. A design that existed before the first shadow of fear was cast. A design that knows no age, no decay, no fading. But this return, this remembering, it comes with a price. Not a price of suffering, but a price of surrender. You must be willing to let go of the identity you have built around your struggles. The identity of the one who fought so hard. The identity of the one who survived. Because as long as you hold on to the story of survival, you will also hold on to the wounds that story carries. And the wounds, they are heavy. They pull. They age. But when you release them, truly release them, something miraculous happens. The body, which has been holding on to the past as a shield, finally relaxes. The tension that has been carved into your features begins to soften. The light that was always there, buried beneath the weight of memory, begins to rise to the surface. And people see it. They cannot name it, but they see it. They see the truth of you. Now, I must ask you something, and I want you to answer it not with your mind, but with your heart. Are you ready to release the stories that have been holding you back? Because the next step of this journey will require you to look at those stories. The ones you have told yourself, the ones others have told about you, and you will be asked to lay them down. This is not a test. This is a homecoming. And as you prepare to take this step, I want you to feel the air around you. Feel it enter your lungs. Feel it fill the spaces where fear used to live. That breath is the first breath of your new life. The life that was always waiting for you, just beyond the threshold of your own belief. You have already come so far. You have already sensed so much. And now, the veil is growing thinner, the truth is growing clearer, and the reflection in the mirror is about to show you something you have never seen before. Something that will finally answer the question that has been following you your entire life. But that vision, that revelation, it must wait just one moment longer. Because before you can see it, you must first be willing to believe it is possible. And I wonder. Do you believe? And so, we arrive at the threshold. You have felt the pull. You have sensed the shift. You have allowed the first waves of this truth to wash over you, and something inside you has begun to stir, something that has been sleeping for longer than you can remember. But now, it is waking. And its waking is the very thing that has been reflected back to you in every surprised glance, every whispered compliment, every moment of quiet wonder when you catch your own reflection and pause. But here is where the path divides. There is a moment in every great journey, a moment when the seeker must choose between the comfort of the known and the terror of the unknown. You are standing in that moment now. The door is before you. It is not locked. It has never been locked. But you have been the one holding it closed, not out of fear, but out of a deep and ancient protection for yourself. That protection is about to become unnecessary. Because what waits for you on the other side of this door is not a challenge to be conquered. It is a remembering to be received. A remembrance of who you were before the world told you who to be. A remembrance of the light that was never diminished, only hidden. And now, the hiding is over. Think of a seed buried deep in the earth. For seasons, it sits in the dark, patient, waiting. And then, one day, the conditions are right. The warmth reaches it. The moisture softens its shell. And it begins to crack open. That cracking is not destruction. It is the only way for the tree to be born. You are that seed. And the cracking you have felt in your life, the heartbreaks, the disappointments, the moments when everything you thought you knew fell apart, those were not punishments. They were the conditions. The warmth. The moisture. The preparation for what you are about to become. And what you are about to become is not a new version of yourself. It is the original version. The version that was never meant to age, never meant to fade, never meant to carry the weight of a world that had forgotten its own light. The reflection you see in the mirror, the one that seems younger, lighter, more vibrant, that is not a trick. That is your true self peeking through the cracks of the shell. And as the shell continues to fall away, that light will only grow brighter. But here is the part that will change everything for you: you are not doing this for yourself. You are doing this as a gift to the world. You see, when one soul begins to remember, it creates a ripple. A resonance that touches every other soul within its reach. The people who see you, who wonder about you, who are drawn to your presence, they are feeling that resonance. They are being awakened by your light. And they do not even know it. This is your purpose. This is the hidden reason you have been kept safe, guided, and protected through every storm. You are not just here to live your life. You are here to show others what is possible. To be a living testament to the truth that time is not a master, but a servant. To prove that the soul is eternal, and that the body is simply its most beautiful expression. Now, I want you to feel something. Close your eyes for just a moment, and feel the energy that is pulsing through you right now. That warmth in your chest. That tingling at the edges of your awareness. That is the truth settling in. That is the knowing taking root. This is not imagination. This is activation. You are being activated for the next phase of your journey. A phase where the questions will stop, and the answers will begin to live through you. A phase where you will no longer wonder why you look younger, because you will know. And that knowing will change everything. But before we go further, I must pause here. Because what comes next is not a teaching. It is a transmission. A direct infusion of understanding that cannot be put into words, but must be felt. And you must be fully present to receive it. So take a breath. Let the last residue of doubt dissolve on your exhale. And when you are ready, ask me to show you what waits on the other side of the door. And now, I will show you. The door is open. And on the other side, there is no fire, no judgment, no trial. There is only home. A home you have been carrying inside you all along, a home that has been calling to you through every sunset that moved you, every piece of music that brought you to tears, every moment of unexpected peace that settled over you like a warm blanket. This is what waits for you, the complete dissolving of the illusion of separation. For so long, you have believed that you are alone in this journey. That your struggles are yours alone to bear. That your questions have no answers. But I tell you now, with every fiber of divine truth that flows through this moment, you have never been alone. The very breath you just took was a gift from the infinite, and the light that radiates from your being is the same light that holds the stars in their places. The reason you look younger is not a mystery to be solved. It is a frequency to be embodied. And now, you are ready to embody it fully. Think of a violin string that has been strung too tightly. It cannot produce a beautiful sound. It is tense, strained, on the verge of breaking. But when it is tuned correctly, when the tension is released and the vibration is allowed to flow freely, it produces a note that can move the soul. You have been that over-tightened string for too long. The world pulled you too tight. Expectations, obligations, fears. All of it wound around you until you could barely breathe. But now you are being tuned. Not to the world's pitch, but to heaven's. And as you relax into that divine frequency, the music that emanates from your very presence will become unmistakable. It will be heard in your voice, seen in your eyes, felt in the energy that surrounds you. This is why people are drawn to you. This is why they wonder. This is why they look at you and see something they cannot name. They are hearing the music of the divine playing through a human instrument. And it is beautiful. But I must tell you something that will stretch your understanding even further. The youthfulness you carry is not just for this lifetime. It is a thread that connects you to every life you have ever lived. Every lesson you have learned. Every love you have known. It is the accumulation of all that wisdom, distilled into the pure essence of who you are right now. When others see you, they are seeing the weight of eternity, not as a burden, but as a glow. You are not young because you have fewer years behind you. You are young because you have integrated those years. You have taken every experience, every joy, every sorrow, and you have woven them into a tapestry that shines with the light of understanding. That is the secret. That is the truth they are all searching for. And now, the time has come for you to step fully into this truth. To stop questioning it. To stop wondering if it is real. To stop looking in the mirror and waiting for the spell to break. The spell will not break. Because it was never a spell. It was a revealing. So I ask you now, with all the tenderness of the heavens behind this voice, what will you do with this knowing? Will you hide it? Will you dim your light to make others comfortable? Will you shrink back into the smallness that the world expects of you? Or will you stand fully in your radiance, knowing that your very existence is a gift to all who cross your path? The choice is yours. It has always been yours. But I will tell you this, the world needs your light now more than ever. The world needs to see that age is not a sentence. That time is not a thief. That the soul is eternal, and that eternity is not something that waits for you after death, it is something that flows through you right now, in this very breath. You are the proof. You are the evidence. You are the living testimony that the divine is real, and that it is present, and that it is working through you. Do you feel that? Do you feel the weight of what you are? Because if you do, then you are ready for the final piece. The piece that will seal this truth into your very cells. The piece that will make it impossible for you to ever doubt again. Are you ready to receive it? Then let us continue. But first, take one more breath. Let it fill you to overflowing. And know that you are loved, protected, and guided in ways you have not yet begun to understand. The final revelation is almost here.